Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Ganesh Housing Corporation Limited Q4 FY23 earnings conference call hosted by Go India Advisors. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star, then 0 on your touch-tone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Rajat Gupta from Go India Advisors. Thank you, and over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Ganesh Housing Corporation Limited earnings call to discuss the Q4 and FY23 results. We have on the call with us today Mr. Rajendra Shah, Chief Financial Officer, and Mr. Ravi, Corporate and Financial Advisors. We must remind you that the discussion on today's call may include certain forward-looking statements and must be viewed in conjunction with the risk that the company faces. I now request Mr. Ravi to take us through the company's business outlook and financial highlights, subsequent to which we will open the floor for Q&A. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rajat, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you all for joining us on this call to discuss the Q4 and FY23 results. I hope you had a chance to see the earnings presentation uploaded on our site a few hours ago. At the outset, let me proudly mention that FY23 was the best financial year in the company's history, both in terms of operational and financial performance. I shall touch upon that a little later in detail, but first the macro. India's real estate sector is likely to be worth around 13 lakh crores in 23-24. It is likely to touch $1 trillion in 2030. All sectors as of now, I repeat, all sectors, affordable housing, independent floors, both residential and commercial, plotted development, premium luxuries, condominiums, and premium commercial spaces are all looking up. Due to COVID, the supply in commercial spaces had seen a drop of 80%. Now, with people returning to offices, especially the large IT companies, and some portion of the work being still done from home, both commercial and residential demand has been picking up. It is expected that the growth in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities will be enormous. Tier 2 cities especially are fast becoming real estate hotspots. Ahmedabad is one such city. Ahmedabad has seen various positive developments like rapid industrialization, good infrastructure, expressways, rapid developments in this city, and many such things. Ahmedabad has been steadily attracting investments from the globe, with the projects being of international standards now. With the advent of IT and IT-enabled services, the demand in commercial and residential areas has been on the upswing. Companies are moving towards tech-enabled construction and selling methods. It's not just tech-driven process of construction alone, but tech being inside the homes itself. These have been the drivers. And Ganesh Housing has always been on the forefront in both these aspects in Ahmedabad. It is this exciting city of Ahmedabad that we operate. It is here that we have large land bank, large development running on the ground, and larger projects coming up soon. It is at this bullish juncture that the company is monetizing the low cost already paid for land bank for high-ended projects, both commercial and residential and villas, to yield continuous cash flows for the next 7 to 8 years unending. As has been explained in the earnings presentation, the company has 1.5 million square feet under development as of now and is targeting potential development of around 30 million square feet with a realization potential of rupees 13,750 crores and expected free cash flows of over 9,350 crores. Let me elaborate a little on the roadmap towards it. We are delighted to announce that we have begun construction work on our iconic project, Million Minds. Million Minds is the name given to the SEZ development, both commercial and residential. Million Mine encompasses a total construction area of 1.3 million square feet in the first phase. The project, along with the entire SEZ land of 64 acres, is located at a prime location behind Nirma University, the new CBD of Ahmedabad, and in close proximity to Gift City, the hotspot already. Ahmedabad has become an emerging IT hub, with many new global IT and financial companies shifting their bases here. Due to this, we see a huge boost in our upcoming projects, which will reap significant benefits to us from this. We expect to get phase 1 of this SEZ already on ground to be completed by March 26, and based on the current leasing model in Ahmedabad, we do expect that we'll have a rental yield of about 70 rupees per square feet, which translates to a rental income of about 72 crores per annum, only on one phase. The project construction, which would be done, has an estimated cost of around 285 crores. And this money will be utilized from the internal accruals, and the company would not be raising any debt for its construction. There are clear plans to launch one such phase every year onwards, as can be seen in the presentation. As was updated previously as well, the company has engaged in a strategic partnership with Tishman Spears, a global leading US real estate player, for development of this project. This partnership will enable Ganesh Housing and Tishman Spears to collaborate for the IT SEZ development and both property and lease management also in a phased manner. The latter would bring along, that is, Tishman Spears will bring along practices of international standards for benchmarking, monitoring project progress, and quality assurances. They have also been given the task of getting tenants for us in the SEZ. The company plans to launch residential project also in the same SEZ on the non-processing zone this year itself, and the cash flows from the same will be utilized for the subsequent commercial launches. There are clear plans in the residential part also to launch one such residential phase every year, as again can be seen from the presentation. The entire SEZ project will be completed over a period of 8 to 9 years, which gives clear visibility of uninterrupted cash flows to the company over the course of these years. Additionally, we see strong potential in Ahmedabad's residential real estate. During Q4, that is last quarter, we acquired the balance minority stake in one of our subsidiaries, Gatil Property Limited, which is having the township project under it. With this minority stake acquired, Gatil now becomes a 100% subsidiary of GHCL. The land at that township project is around 450 acres and is situated in Ahmedabad's fast-growing area of Godavari. The township project, once commenced, will allow GHCL to have a continuous and definitive stream of cash flows and profits for the next 5 to 6 years. The township will have a development potential of area of around 15.3 million square feet with a saleable potential of over rupees 5,000 crores. The township will be launched in 5 different phases, with the first phase being launched in the second half of this year, that is FY24 itself. And we expect the entire completion of all the phases by half HY29, the second half of FY29. Now I would like to discuss in brief about some of the key financial and operational highlights, which I said I'll be touching upon later. This year has been the year of many firsts. The company has recorded the highest ever revenues of rupees 621 crores in FY23, which on a year-on-year is a 61% increase. The revenue for the quarter was 183 crores, a growth of 18%. Had a resounding 89% growth in EBITDA in FY23, with the amount being 256 crores as compared to rupees 135 crores YOY. This growth in Q4, the last quarter, YOY, was almost 100%, standing at 105 crores. We have almost reached the best net profit ever, registering a PAT of 102 crores a rise of 45% YOY. The rise in PAT in Q4 YOY was 56% at 39.4 crores. During FY23, we registered the highest ever net cash flows of rupees 310 crores versus a negative cash flow of 4.8 crores in FY22. It is for the first time in 16 years that there is zero debt. In fact, there is a cash surplus of 325 crores. This is a significant development because the debt has come down to zero in just 4 years from a peak of 650 crores in FY19, in spite of COVID being there for 2 out of these 4 years. We have delivered the residential project Malabar County 3 to be more specific, in just 2.5 years, the fastest ever. This has been with the use of tech and precast with tech inside every home. We would be delivering Malabar Exotica 2, which had started construction in July 2021, in a similar manner, maybe even faster. As of March 2023, we have almost nil inventory, whether residential or commercial, left with us. Just a mere 40,000 square feet valued at 25 crores is all that is there in terms of inventory. We have the largest ever development on the ground as of now, with Malabar Exotica and Million Mines SEZ Phase 1, with the total development being 1.5 million square feet, as I said earlier. And for the first time ever, we have a clear blueprint of where we are heading over the next 7 to 8 years, with the largest ever upcoming projects with almost 30 million square feet with clear visibility of cash flows. In conclusion, let me mention that the momentum in the real estate sector would continue. It is looking the best ever and looks to be bullish for the next 10 years. It is at this time that Ganesh Housing, with its excellent track record of execution, has put its best performance ever, is debt-free, and is sitting on cash surplus with very promising projects on the ground. We believe that there is only one way movement for GHCL, and that is upwards. With this, I request the floor to be open for questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Our first question comes from the line of Hitendra Gupta from Systematics. Please go ahead.
Hey, hi. Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for taking my question, and congratulations for the good set of numbers. I have basically 2 major questions. One is what would be the current prevailing per square feet rates in Godvi, where we are planning to launch a township, and how we have arrived at the working of 4,550 crores of revenue potential from that township?
Okay. Thank you, Hitendra. One is, you said what is current prevailing per square feet rate in Godavari.
Godavari, yeah.
This is rupees 2,500 per square feet. That would be prevailing rate.
Okay.
And 4,550 revenue, which you are saying, is net surplus of present value of.
It is a total amount, which is if you are asking for the revenue itself, it is 4,500. There's a cost involved to that. Because there will be development cost in the development of that land and all.
Yeah.
So after that, there will be a net cash surplus of over 4,200 crores. And that is, there we don't sell by square feet. Actually, it's more of square yards still, because it's there in the township development, which is villa development.
Okay.
That we are taking 25,200, which roughly translates to around 2520.
Okay. Got it. And my follow-up question would be, what's the reason for Monsoon to exit, and where did we fund those outflows from?
It was all from our earnings. The funding of that all was earnings. Because you see the cash surplus, which I've said we have had such good performance last year. I think they had their own time frame already fixed up between the numbers, between the years when they invested and now. It's all that the development probably could take a little longer than what they earlier had their own plans for. So, and of course, they were getting the 2x return on their investment. That's a fantastic return. That's a 3x multiple, which is a very good return. So they must have chosen to exit.
Okay, and this would be in what duration they made 3x?
What is the period?
Yeah.
Their investment was between 9 to 12.
Okay.
And they've exited now.
Okay. Thank you. Just last question. Wanted to understand the total revenue in FY23 and how much of those would come from the ongoing or completed projects.
So,
and how much from the land sales? Just a breakup of the revenue.
Sure. So about 80 crores is the revenue which has come from sale of units, and rest is consideration from sale of land.
Okay. Will this ratio will still hold in going forward? How it will change?
No. Going forward, the mix will change a lot because we have traditionally been having three verticals of revenue generation.
Mm-hmm.
One is from land sale, one is from sale of residential houses, and one from sale of commercial units. So last 2-3 years we had seen our projects had not taken up ground. Now with the plateau, meaning line of projects, different phases of SEZ and different phases of township, will give a lot of revenue, meaning mix will go on changing, but yes, still a vertical of land sale is still going to generate us revenue and profits, but that proportion will go down.
Okay.
See, I would like to add to what Rajendra Bhai said is that this happens to be one of the verticals too. In terms of development of projects, development, residential or commercial and all that, and also land sales. These are all a part of the real estate development which happens. So some land is bought in for that purposes of being able to get out at the right time, and some are there for a long period for development into projects. So it's one of the verticals of the company.
Okay. And what would be this area of land sales in this year, and what was the average rates?
It actually varies from time to time, Pawan. There's no one particular number that we could put it on that at this point in time. Maybe we can take that offline after we get the more details. We can go through Go India advisors also, because it's been done at various points in time, and therefore when it was acquired, what was the cost of it, and how it was sold. It's a little complicated in terms of we'll have to take a total of all that, which we don't have at this point in time.
Okay, no problem. That's it from me. Thanks for your answers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Jay Shah from Dolat Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello, is my voice audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Good afternoon. So there are 3 questions which I need to ask. First would be, what's your plan on continuing with Tishman Sphere beyond the initial phase of SEZ and partnering with them on the residential launches as well? And secondly, how is the revenue model worked here, and any equity infusion plan from Tishman?
Can I answer the question right away so that we can, if you have another question, you can add it. Now, Tishman is not there for residential. It is for the commercial area of SEZ alone. And looking to the fact that, they really do well, maybe we can continue with them for the entire 7 phases. At this point in time, it's only for the phase 1 that we have said. We would like to also examine how they are going ahead with it. Given the track record, we know they would succeed, but we'd still like to see. Maybe they'll be there for the entire 7 phases also. They're not there in the residential. And there's no equity infusion from them as yet. That this all this revenue at this point in time, what we have planned for the 7 SEZ is on the rental basis, and so there will be rental revenues. And they will be only given, Tishman Sphere will be given the DM, that is development management fees. That's it.
Right. Okay. And secondly, on the residential pipeline announced, can you share what we are planning to build in township in terms of stories and units planned, and what are the key advantages of the location where the township is located?
Well, when you say township, it will be actually a composition of everything. It will be villas, there will be a whole lot of things which will come up with the township. Starting with probably the villas that we will be doing, but it will have to go to the other areas also. As far as the location is concerned, it is there at the spot where the next development is happening in Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad has been growing from one to the west, and now towards this area. So this land was acquired quite some time back, and then now with the development in and around that area, and the residential areas actually more so the bungalows and all that moving towards the west part of Ahmedabad, this street is right in the middle of that hotspot. So and that is there is another road coming up next to it. So the connectivity to the western part of it, as well as to the, let's say, the Sardar Patel Ring Road, which is the another connectivity to the airport and all this is very, very close by to this location. So all the new development, one, it is going towards this west, the other one is going towards the CBD I just mentioned in the speech, that is the Vaishno Devi area. There is a north part of it, northwest part of Ahmedabad.
Okay. And lastly, can you throw some light on how much difference you take into consideration in terms of the realization of your commercial building rentals versus Gift City? And is it difference going to narrow down in the near future? How are the price movement expected across these two regions?
The rentals that we have taken at this point in time is very competitive. Frankly, it could be towards slightly on the lower side, bit more pessimistic or other conservative estimate that we have taken. There's not big difference between the rentals which could be ongoing at Gift City. Gift City is still to develop, but this is the area where it is developed with lots of offices in and around. So maybe the development at this could be faster, and it can have rentals which can be much higher than what we have taken right now. I don't see that, at least we don't have any idea at this point in time whether the rentals of both Gift City and this could narrow, because each one of them is being developed in its own its own way and in its own right. So probably the kind of development which will happen may command the same rates at both the places, or there could be a slight difference between the two. But one is not going to be at the cost of the other, or there's not going to be shifts, or there's not going to be any narrowing down of rentals and all that. No such competition, if that's what you mean.
Okay, yes. Okay, fair enough, yeah. I got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to ask a question, please press star 1. Our next question comes from the line of Mayur Lehman from Profit Mart Securities Private Limited. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. I just want to understand the increase in the other income and the tax amount. So can you please light on that other income and the tax?
Other income and?
Tax. Deferred tax.
Yeah. So, Mayur, just to inform you, as liquid and liquid meaning as cash and cash equivalents increase with us, we would have interest income which will come up. So this interest income is classified as other income. That is one thing.
Okay.
And tax is actually provision for tax for current year on. I'm coming to that. Provision for tax for current year, which is applied directly on profit before tax. apart from that, there is one more thing which is called as provision for deferred tax. See, whenever you have losses or accumulated losses in your business, as per current accounting standards, you are required to create an asset which is called deferred tax asset.
Yes.
It is required to be written off as soon as you start earning profits. So you will see in our financial results there are two tax elements which get deducted after profit before tax. One is current tax, which is applied on profit before tax, and there was accumulated loss which necessitated us to make this deferred tax asset, which is required to be now written off.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And my second question is on the home interest rate. So could you see any impact on the business segment of the rise of the business home interest rate?
Yeah. So recently we had seen increase in mortgage loans. That actually affected a small portion of our demand. However, we feel that since inflation is under control and the Indian economy is resilient now, we expect that these interest rates have peaked out now. So we are expecting a softening of interest rate, which will help further affordability of residential products and commercial units that we have to offer.
I would like to add to this. It has been noticed that the real resistance or the drop in demand of residential products come only when the rates, these home loan rates go beyond 9.5. At this point in time, they haven't yet touched, and therefore we don't really see that kind of a significant movement in that. Frankly, with the kind of a supply which is there, around 50,000, around 45,000 homes is what Ahmedabad, especially where we are, is the demand for houses every year, and that's growing at 10-15. So the elasticity to the rate of interest, if it is too high, beyond 950 or 10, maybe they could be a little slowdown. But with the kind of demand which is there and growing every year, and this all has been documented, this there observed from the actual records in the government, that we don't see that is going to be having a big impact. At least as of now, it hasn't yet reached there. So we think that it should still go ahead quite well. The growth should be there.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. And my last question is the outlook for the financial year 2024. Could you please put some light on that?
So financial year 2024, we are already on with our SEZ phase 1. We are expecting the delivery of Malabar Exotica, a residential project. So we will earn revenue from that project, and we will this SEZ, which is underway, will get completed by March 26. So until then, there will be only expenditure that we are expecting to incur. However, during FY24 itself, we are expecting to launch first phase of residential development in SEZ. So all in all, these are commercial activities that will keep us busy, I think, in FY24.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sorry, I'll just add that normally, we haven't been giving any such forward-looking numbers, but the way the projects have been announced, which we already have done in the presentation, I just spoke about it, and with the execution of Malabar Exotica, plus, of course, as I said, Godavari, that the residential, that township will also be starting off in the second half year. This year definitely should be one of the best. That's all I can, without having to give any number as it, because there are completed projects, there are ongoing projects on the ground.
Yes, sir, no problem. Thank you for your guidance, sir, and the best of luck.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder, if you wish to ask a question, please press star 1. Our next line of Preet Nagashet from Wealth Finvisor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, everyone. One thing I wanted to understand was that for launching the township, there were issues with some permissions and stuff like that. So, do you have all of that cleared up to launch for the second half? Could you share some color on that?
Yes. It's there at various stages, and then that's why you're given a little longer period to say that it is work has already started. We expect that to be in place.
You expect that to be in place, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Then, what about any land sales? So there were some insights on the real estate side that there was a large parcel of land sold to Reliance or to Kokila Ambani or thereabouts. Is that something that Ganesh had participated in?
No. So these things keep coming up. Whatever is sold, it gets reflected in the numbers. And many a times, the buyers' names are obviously nobody really discloses it. I would leave it at that, saying that there have been people buying into Ahmedabad. As I said, that's become a hot spot. So yes, Reliance could be buying in at various places. I wouldn't say whether it was Ganesh Housing has sold it or somebody else has sold it. There are a few developers in Ahmedabad who really can boast of having good land parcels, and we one of them, and therefore it could be anyone. So it's really very difficult to say that we have done it or somebody else has sold it.
Wonderful. All right. The other question is that in terms of, I know you may not be able to give a proper guidance right now, but in terms of CAGR that you anticipate over the, say, next 3 to 5 years, and from where we are stated at this year, right? So let's say FY23 is the base, and let's take a 5-year perspective from here. Would it be possible for you to share any kind of CAGR growth that we can build into our estimates in terms of revenue?
See, with all the projects that we have just said and the kind of numbers I've just spoken in the opening remarks also, all that adds to a CAGR of roughly calculate around 25 to 30% on the existing numbers. If you keep adding that, that's how these things will come in the next 5 years for sure, both on the residential areas and all. If you really have to see only the rental part of it, yes, that may not be there. But rental, if you capitalize it on the rental yield portion, it could be more than that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder again, if you wish to ask a question, please press star 1. Our next question comes from the line of Giriraj Daga from Visaria Family Trust. Please go ahead.
Hello, team. A couple of questions from my side. First, on the acquisition of Gatal Properties Private Limited. So, has the transaction completed now, or is it reflected in the books?
So, see, money has flown out. It is we are in process of doing regulatory compliances post outflow of money.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say money has moved out?
Yeah. So only formalities of FEMA return filings and transfer of shares is what is pending.
Okay, but this is reflected like in the when you look at cash flow.
Yeah.
It's reflected like in terms of what asset purchase or where.
So partially it had happened during FY23. So if you see investment activities.
Hello.
Yeah, there is a application of funds in investment activities. Yeah.
Yeah, but it actually there is a positive number of 300 crore.
So if we can take next question, my team will work on that and we'll come back.
Okay. This is pertaining to Godavari land, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the land value you are probably talking about is closer to 1,000 crore here.
Correct. Yes. So if you look at that valuation of that at this point in time with no development also, it is 1,000 crores. The numbers what you had asked, the payment was done to these people, some in the month of March, while between January to March, and balance has been paid in the month of April. So the completion as we speak is 100%, and therefore not entire money is reflected in that cash flows of FY23, but it has been done out of our internal accruals.
Okay. So like how much we paid? Like this last year, how much we paid?
I think this year we have paid about current year, that is in April 23, we have paid about. I was just getting the exact numbers, around 150 to 200, and balance of the ones that have been done earlier.
Okay. Second, like we don't report pre-sales, which is the like basic indicator for real estate company.
No, we would actually do that from this year onwards because the two projects were launched about a couple of years back, and therefore there is always. I've seen this in real estate do talk about pre-sale. And I think this year onwards, because so many projects have been on the ground, and a lot of them would really not reflect in our P&L because of accounting standards. So we shall start presenting the pre-sales numbers also from this year onwards.
But if you can go like last year, what was the full year pre-sale number?
Pre-sales last year, the projects which were announced were in FY22, and therefore quite a bit of that was already booked in FY22 itself in terms of the cash flows and all that. So it was only execution FY23.
No, there might be some moment land sale also, right, into that.
Land sale is what we just before in the earlier question we had covered. There is inventory sale of around 80 to 100 crores, and balance that is land sale in the current year, FY23.
But what is the land sale number? I missed that number.
Sorry, I couldn't get it question. What is that?
What was the land sale number in FY23 full year? I missed that number.
That is around 450 to 500 crores.
Okay, so this year we sold 450 to 500 crore.
Yes.
Okay. Coming to our SEZ project, so like in the nearby locality, any other commercial properties out there?
Pardon me, I think the line is a little bad. Can you ask again?
Near the SEZ property, SEZ development, are there near commercial properties out there?
Oh yes, there are. There is many others which are really moving towards that. Offices and all have been announced in and around the Vaishnav Devi Circle, which is close to this Zydus. Zydus Corporate Park itself is there. So if you're talking about from a sale perspective, from a total commercial development for sale, there are 3 or 4 such projects which are upcoming as of now in and around that area. But this SEZ would be probably one of the largest, one of the most different, and one of its kind in that vicinity.
Okay. Have you got obviously it's too early to ask, but have you got any anchor commitment from any of the global MNCs or somebody who are already there in that locations they want to expand? With the capacity we are looking at sitting here, it looks very large, right? Total 10 million in next few years.
It is, but I think you answer the question yourself when you say it's too early to ask. You're absolutely right. It's too early to say. We'll have to at least wait for this particular year to know. People will want to know whether the development is happening, how much is developed, and when it can be completed, because they have to plan at least 2-3 years in advance. So I probably will be able to answer that question maybe 12 months later. But today, yes, it is early.
Okay. So on these land, there is no other cost involved in terms of right to start construction. Everything is for the full 10 million square feet of commercial and 5 million square feet of residential. We have all the approvals all fully paid, right?
Yeah. The land and all is absolutely paid. There's only the development cost which needs to be done.
Okay. When I look at the development cost of our Smile City, what we have put in, like when I just work out the math, it comes to like as low as 500 rupees, less than 500 rupees a square feet. So what am I missing here?
No, you're not missing anything. See, when we do the development in that, the way we are going, we'll have to do all the development of the roads, the infrastructure within that. Only that is what's supposed to be incurred in this, because that is got no direct revenue, if you really ask me. It's all built up in that sale price. So that is the only cost which comes up in which we have looked for. Whenever there will be actual buildings which will come up, let's say the real township development, there will be a cost and the sale value could be attached to that. So this is only the development cost that we have taken at this point in time.
Okay. Sorry, development, when you look at presentation.
Yeah, but it is only, the development which you have taken is only for the infra or the roads and all that. The realization also we have taken it at this point in time. So as and when the projects keep adding to larger, let us say, bigger projects and all, the costs associated with that and the revenue associated with that also will keep going up. So this is an estimate on the ground as of now. So this can change a bit as we go, as we develop the township in full.
Sorry, I'm a bit confused here. When I look at slide number 11, okay, we have given township 1.7 million, first phase 1 is Smile City 1, and then I look at revenue of 500 crore. When I work out the maths, like 2,930 rupees square feet, which you mentioned also sometime back. The rates are ongoing rates are 2,500 rupees square feet in that area.
Yeah.
So that I understood it was a revenue number.
No, I'll explain. See, right now we have our basic estimate for development of township and revenue is that we will develop infrastructure around township and we will sell developed plots.
Okay. So these are developed plots.
Development cost which has been accounted for as of now.
Okay.
In case in future we decide to develop buildings and then sell, then our cost and revenue both will go up accordingly.
Okay.
That is what we mean.
Yeah. Understood. Any other land apart from these two, like for the township of this and millions mined SEZ, apart from any other large land bank we have?
No, we do have. However, as of now, I think these two land parcels will keep us busy for another 7 to 8 years. So right now, our focus will be on these two larger land parcels.
Okay.
Of course, we will be launching a few small projects here and there, but that will be, so to say, a bonus. But these are short, definite projects which are there in next pipeline, which is going to come up.
Okay. Last thing from my side, when I look at inventory in the balance sheet, 515 crore.
Yeah.
If you can break this into like what is the finished inventory and what is the land bank inventory?
So finished inventory is hardly about 40 crores in terms of value.
Okay.
In terms of square footage, it would be roughly about 25 crores in terms of value and about 40,000 square feet in terms of square footage.
Okay, and rest would be land only?
Yeah. The rest will be land and construction, semi-finished construction also. We have Malabar Exotica project, which is at very good, about 82% level, 82% completed. So which accounts for almost like inventory of about 95 odd crores.
Okay.
So this is just one such example. Yeah.
Okay, no, that is then separately from the land value. So I'm looking 515. You mentioned 25 crore is the finished goods, 95 crore is the work in progress under construction. So, or if you can give separately total, what is total work in progress, total finish, and total land?
We'll have to, I think through Go India, we will have to call out that data separately and give it to you.
Sure. Okay, thanks from my side.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Dhananjay Kumar Mishra from Sunidhi Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello sir. Congrats on a strong set of numbers. Just one question on our completed project side. So you said that 25 crore inventory left to be sold. So in terms of revenue recognition, what is the amount which is yet to be recognized in P&L? Only 25 crore or something more than that?
Yeah. See, no, he's saying what is the
Completed projects, 25 crore inventory.
from inventory which is there completed. Yeah. See, Malabar 3, which is completed project, in that there are certain units which have been booked. However, sale deed in respect of those units have not yet been done, which would be roughly about 48 to 49 crores of revenue which will be booked in this financial year of 24. And
So roughly
we have unsold inventory worth 25 crores, which will be meaning which if gets sold would give us a revenue of about 25 odd crores. Yeah.
So 75 to 80 crore will come from the completed project in FY24, right?
Yeah. We have inventory worth 75 to 80 crores, which is kind of ready inventory.
Okay. And this Malabar exhibitor, which is going to be in FY24, from that project we will get about 1,065 crore, which is mentioned in the ongoing project, right?
No, not 1,065 crores.
Because you have mentioned one project residential, one commercial. So commercial will have only rental. So rent, I think expected sales.
Yeah, if you're talking about the ongoing projects, there is one which is 83% complete. That is the Exotica residential one, which was started in July 21. That is worth around 150 to 160 crores. That should be the one which will have revenues of that nature. The other one is the SEZ that we talked about, and that is something which is not going to be realized in this current year. The number of that balance of 1,050, and this comes in such a manner that we are looking at SEZ as a rental. And as I said earlier, if you do the rentals of 72 crores on a discounting basis, the value of that is worth 1,020 crores at 7% discounting, which is the yield which is present in the market at this point in time. So that is how that number of that has come about in the presentation. Though we will be holding on with as a rental one in SEZ, we will have to put the market value of that if it was sold, and that comes out of the rental yield, and that's the value of the market value of the property which has been put up under development.
So you have discounted 72 crore annual rental for only one of your commercial projects,
and one SEZ, correct? That because that is one which is under development. Next will come under each phase from next year onwards. At this point in time, we have estimated that no escalation in rentals and no escalation in costs. So if you go on the same basis, 7 phases, 72 crores, that would be the recurring rentals, not taking any escalation, though of course that's conservative. And similarly, if you do that as a rental yield at 7%, it comes around 120 into 7 again. That's how the total value of the SEZ commercial would be arrived at.
So 1,065, what is the Malabar Executive contribution in this? 150 crores.
Yeah, around 150, 160 crores. And there, as I said, there will be some completed ones, which is not, which comes in the completed projects, not
so
in
150 crore plus 75 crore. So 225 crore revenue we will be recognizing for FY24 from entirely, and maybe some. Okay. So in case of there is no land sale in FY24, our revenue will go down, right?
Sorry, please come again. I think there was a disturbance.
Because last year in FY23 we had 450 to 500 crore of land sale. So in FY24, from the actual project we will be having about 225 crore contribution. In case of there is no land sale, further land sale in FY24, our revenue will be, as compared to 621 crore, it will be about 225 crore, right?
That would not be the right comparison. The right comparison would be that we also have said that there is this the Godavari township project which is going to commence in the second half. The villa plotted development, villa development that we are talking about. So there will be sales from that too, which will be recorded for. And as a part of our total verticals, as I said earlier, there would be a land sale, whether it is in the township or anywhere else. So that will continue. So
That's fine. That's fine.
Drop. It's going to be only an increase in revenues from now.
You said, that's fine. So FY24 I'm talking about. Of course, you have given.
Also, there would be, if the way we are planning, if Smile City, that is the township one, goes about, then there will be the next 6 months, there will be a lot of revenues coming in from there and sales coming in from there.
Sales will come, but we will not recognize. That's what I was asking.
No, there is different. That's something is technical which we're working on. If we call it as a complete township development with all that, maybe there's something else. Will be only cash flow, but we really need to work out whether we can actually recognize the revenues or not. That's something to do with accounting. But at least cash flow wise, we will be having far more than that. Let's talk about the cash flow in that.
Right. And in township, what proportion of infrastructure already created, or it is just started?
No, it is just started. Infrastructure there is in such a place that we only have to do a little bit of cleaning. Frankly, it is there quite close to the roads which are already laid. So work is just starting.
Okay. And what is the stamp duty difference? Is there any stamp duty difference in township project or vis-a-vis other project in Ahmedabad for customers?
It would be on the gentry basis, which is different for different areas.
So in township project, there is any concession in the stamp duty? Hello?
Is there any? I am not aware. I'm not aware of any difference.
Because for other developers, if they are doing township and they are creating a lot of infrastructure, so project in township, the stamp duty is at 50% or something like that, compared to other projects, a single project. So that's what I
we are not we're not aware of that, any such reduction, but I can always check. Pardon our ignorance, but we'll check.
Okay, thank you. That's all from my side.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Pruthul Shah from Anubhuti Advisors. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. My first question is with respect to the revenue from operations. So our standalone sales is less compared to the console. So there is a difference of around 20 crores. So can you put a bridge about it? Why it is less in console and higher in standalone? Is there of land or something?
Pardon me, one second. Are you talking of Q4 or?
Yes, Q4 only. Yes, only Q4. Yes.
Yeah. I'll just go. Q4 standalone number is lesser than console number. There was a sale which was anticipated in Gatil, which was in one of our subsidiary of about 30 odd crores, which was cancelled.
Okay. Can you elaborate this? What was the transaction earlier and what has cancelled currently?
Sales return hai. Matlab there was a sale transaction of some land which had happened earlier, which was cancelled at the request of buyer.
And that was in Gatil or in Ganesh standalone?
No, it was in Gatil and not in Ganesh standalone. So consolidated, you will see that turnover is little lesser than what is there in standalone.
Okay. My second question is with respect to the land in Gatil. So can you let us know that what is the land available in Gatil, like how many acres out of the total 500 acres that we are claiming?
Around 450 acres. It's around 450 acres as a presentation. The township one is around 450. That is sitting in Gatil.
450 crores, right? So the
acres.
Acres. So whatever township that we are planning in Godavi, that whole land currently is in Gatil.
That's right.
Okay. Got it. And with respect to Godavari Township only, so initially, what we are saying is that we are planning for the villa. So are we only gonna do the plotted development or actually constructing the villas and selling the villas?
No, it will be a villa development. It may start with the plots being allotted, but it will be a villa development. It's going to be a full-fledged development there.
Okay. And so approximately, if you can guide us at size in terms of square yard that you would be selling the villas.
Size, please come again. Price you are saying?
No. Per villa, what would be the size in terms of square yard that you are planning to construct and sell?
That master plan exactly, because it will not be all at the same size. There will be variations in the size. It can be smaller, bigger, middle, and all depending on the pockets that we need to address to. Those numbers have not yet been arrived at in such great detail that I will be able to share with you right now.
Okay. And this you have guided for this phase 1 of Smile City 1 starting from H2 FY24 to H2 FY25. So for this H2 FY25, will that be getting completed or it will be just launch period that you have guided? How much time it will take to actually deliver the villas?
The delivery of the villas will be a longer process. This is the development in the first phase of 50 acres that we are talking about, which will start in H2 of FY24 and get completed in H1 of FY25. So that is the development of the plots, development of the area around that, and that much itself. The villa construction on that and all is not taken up in this 1 year time frame. Obviously, it will take longer than that. Yeah. So that's the reason why Rajendra Bhai had explained that we are not taken those kind of costs and all that. We are taken only as much as the land and the development related to that. So that is there accounted for at present when we say 24 to 25.
Got it, sir. Got it. And one just last question, sir. What would be the cash and cash equivalent available with the company after the payment of payment to this monsoon fund for the stake of Pratil as on date, if we speak? I'm not on the as on March, but as we speak.
Yeah, roughly about 300. Roughly about 300 crores is the surplus which is available post acquisition of monsoon stakes.
Okay. So after considering all the payment to monsoon, we will be having around 300 crore cash on console basis.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. That's it from my side.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Jannat Niranjan Shah from Wealth Advisors. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon. Congratulations on a very good set of numbers. I just had one question on the Godavari land. So would Ganesh be going alone, solo on the project, or there will be some joint venture partner? And would the development be as comparable to KBG, that is Color Greens and Blues? What is in mind for the development and the plan for villas?
So thank you, Chandan, for asking this question. So as of now, it is only Ganesh Housing which will be developing this project, and we believe we are the brand which is very very well recognized, and we have won investors and buyers, customers trust. If you see recently, almost 40% of the bookings what we have done are from network of our existing customers or referred by our existing customers. So I don't see there is any need for any other collaboration or effort to market our product. So that is about it. And when you say that where we will benchmark our product, the name of the township which you have mentioned, you can You can. I'm ignorant about it, but it will be one of the best which will happen in that locality.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached to the end of the question and answer session. I now hand the conference over to the management for closing remarks.
Thank you, everyone, for being on the call and giving us a patient hearing. I hope we have been able to answer most of your questions. Those some of the detailed numbers and all, if not, we will get back to you separately. Please feel free to contact Rajendra Shah, the CFO, on this. I think you have the connects. Otherwise, Go India Advisors can get that. And we shall be very, very happy to answer all your questions in as detail as possible. Thank you for joining. Good day.
Thank you. On behalf of Go India Advisors, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your line.